as your friend, you told me there's no questions off limits.
Okay.
And you know, I want to take everyone who is listening to us, sharing this with us, behind the scenes on something I don't think you've ever spoken about before.
Uh-oh, okay.
And I think it's something deeply personal to you, so I hope you're okay if I share it.
Okay.
I have been backstage with you when you've walked off and you crushed a keynote, though everyone's going nuts, crying, cheering, everything. And I watch you walk off stage, backstage, and you instantly start beating yourself up. And what could have been better? What could have been this, that, the other, right? Behind the scenes, you, I don't want to say inflict pain on yourself, cause pain. You're very hard on yourself. And I think that may surprise a lot of people because you are also so inspiring and uplifting. And you just, oh my goodness, can you just pour into someone and have them just believing to the point where they're flying? You know what I mean? Flying high with belief.
Thank you.
And this other part of you is so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Can you share that?
Yeah. It's in everything. So I am that way. I would like not to be. So it comes from a good place, and that is that I so deeply want to serve and have such a high standard of what I think should or could happen when I'm doing something. Because I know humans can change. I watched my hero do it. I watched my dad live one way basically the first 15 years of my life, and then I watched someone live magnificently the rest of his life. So I'm in this space, so to speak, because I know humans can change because I watched it up close with my dad. And so I so desperately want someone to know how good it feels to become the best part of themselves. That when I feel like I haven't delivered completely on that one opportunity I have, because I may not have one more chance to talk to that person or be with them again, the feeling of regret and I wish I'd have done this, I should have done that, is overwhelming to me, almost to the point of being debilitating, almost to the point where I enjoy the speaking, I enjoy being out there, but it's almost like when it's over, I know it's going to flood me most of the time, which is a whole lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, regrets. This wasn't good, that wasn't good. And I don't just do that in speaking, I do that in about everything I'll do. I will do that when you leave today, when the podcast is done. I guarantee you, I'll do that today. Now, I would like to find a way to do that, and I think a lot of people probably relate to that. It comes from a good place though, which is my standard is high, and I really want to make a difference. But there's another side of that coin when I'm doing it. And the truth is that, and this is the part of it that I'm trying to get leverage on myself to stop, there's an ego involved, that it must be about me. That why is it so much about me when I'm done? If it was so much about the crowd when I was there, and it's really about whether I serve them or not, why am I so hard on me afterwards? Which means I'm making it too much about me still, if I'm being really, really honest. And so there's another level for me to go to in my life, in business, in my personal relationships. And I mean, I'm so crazy like this stuff, like my best friends will be around me. Next week, I'm doing a dinner. Some of my buddies will be taking me to dinner for an event, my birthday. And I already kind of know that when it's over and I get in the car and I leave, there will be a little few minutes there where like I evaluate the dinner. I'm present in the dinner, but when it's over and I'm driving back, I'll go, did Romy know how much I love him and appreciate him? Did I get that out tonight? Did I let Gordon know how much I admire him? You know, did I pay enough attention to David when we were all talking about something else that he felt included? And so I'm always kind of doing that all the time in my life. I like that part of me because it comes from a place of caring, but there's a better path to getting there. There's a better way to do it. And it's, again, I have tools in the book that I give to everybody else that in that case, I need to leverage a little bit better for me because here's why. If you're like me, your brain eventually needs to be rewarded for the things you love doing. You need the dopamine. And if you constantly rob yourself from the pleasure of doing something, eventually you don't want to do it. And eventually you don't grow into the best of you at doing so. And so I know consciously, I got to give myself more rewards. I still think that comes all the way back to when I'm a 5, 6, 7-year-old little dude, and you know, you and I have talked a lot about this. The way I really felt like I got a lot of love when I was a kid is when I achieved something. So I conflate, like a lot of people do, significance with love. If I got an A, I got love, right? To the point where as I got older, I told you this last night, as I got older, my dad knew that was wired into me. So my dad knew probably when he was drinking, if I did really well, he'd pay closer attention. It's hard to get my dad's attention. My dad was a busy guy, and my dad would drink. And so to get his attention, to pay attention to me, it was, Daddy, I got an A. Dad, I hit a home run. Dad, I had 3 hits today, right? And a lot of people, you know, can connect with that. But as I got older, my dad intuitively knew I was that way. And he's such a smart man that as I still played that same role as a 40-year-old guy going, Dad, I made $1 million. Dad, I bought a jet. Dad, I did. My dad would always dramatically discount the achievements. Dramatically. My dad never flew on any of my planes, never once. And by the way, they were almost in walking distance to his house. I go, Dad, let's fly to Maui and play golf. Why would I do that? I don't care about your jet or your money. I care about the man you are. And the man, we can play golf in Chino. We can play golf in Chino. And anytime I would try to achieve, you go, hey, what kind of a dad are you right now? You being a good friend? You being a good man? That's what I love about you. That's what I admire about you. So it would always bring it back to the things that mattered. But yeah, that was a long answer to tell you that I definitely beat myself up. You know that about me. Most of my close friends know that about me. It's made me get better, but there's a healthier way to do it.
You know, your dad was an alcoholic until you were about 15.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
And
7 days before my 15th birthday.
7 days before.
Yeah.
What you just shared, learning, like achievement equals love.
Yeah.
I think there's so many people listening, watching us that might be having a big aha moment in their own life,
Yep.
right? And a lot of people, I'd put myself in the same boat. If we have a childhood where we get rewarded or our parents say good job, or they show up for the first time, or whatever it might be, when we achieve something, or when we you know, hit the home run in the game, or whatever it might be, and all of a sudden you fast forward in your life, and you know, this doesn't matter if you had addiction in your family, or you had a seemingly, you know, perfect family. If you had, you know, parents that sort of showed up or rewarded you when you achieved. I know so many people that to this day are now in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 70s, and they're always going after that next job, the next achievement, the next award, the next way that the world celebrates them and tells them good job. And every time they hit those milestones, it's never enough.
It's never enough.
And it always feels empty. And you always thought it was going to be like, once you got that, then you'd be happy. Once this happened, then you'd be happy. And when you have that deep-rooted achievement equals love, you sort of never feel or recognize that you're enough, that you are loved.
And you could have had that love from the very beginning. And here's the irony. If you allow yourself, this is what I've finally discovered as I've gotten older, is that when you allow yourself to feel loved and valued, you'll actually achieve far more significant things. So this actual feeling of, if I get this achievement, I get this significance, then I'll get love, is actually a limiting level of significance and achievement. But someone who feels loved, someone who feels cared for, someone who feels valuable, they go achieve far greater external things anyway. And it's not always just achievement. It also can just be attention. So sometimes people conflate attention with love. So if I can get this woman's attention, if I can get this man's attention, if I look, if they think I look great and I can get attention for that, then I'll feel loved. Or if they think I'm really smart, then I'll feel loved. Or if I can read them my resume that I've got an MBA or I've got a doctorate, then I'll feel loved. Or I'm gonna tell them about my jet and my car. I meet people all the time where I live here that's like the first 3 minutes is their resume. I've got this, I've got that, I did this, I did that. And I've literally stopped people here before after a while when they do it with me at this particular place I live in. I go, hey brother, I love you. It's cool, brother. I love you. You're cool with me if you had that jet or you didn't. I don't love your jet, I love you, right? I don't love how beautiful you are. I love you, right? I don't love what you're achieving. And so we have an achievement addicted culture as well that's lying to people by saying, if you'll just go do these things, then you'll feel better about yourself, then you'll be happier. And I talk a lot about blissful dissatisfaction, which is essentially this. People conflate. You can be dissatisfied and want more and still be blissful. You can live blissfully and still be dissatisfaction's healthy. Dissatisfaction says, I'm capable of this and I'm doing this. I want to fill the gap. That's wonderful. Nothing wrong with being dissatisfied. That's totally different than being unhappy, though. So you can simultaneously be blissful and happy and dissatisfied to the extent that you want to grow and change.